Hi everyone, welcome to my channel AmitSarkar.tech. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to search using Google. Now, in my last video, I talked about how we can search for jobs using Google, but then I realized that you can actually do so many more things with Google, and it would be useful to create a video just for that. So, the intention is to teach you how to search uh, powerfully using Google, and there is a word for that, and that is Google Foo. So Google Foo is searching at searching in the most powerful way using any search engine, and it could be Google, Bing, or whatever. So today we are just focusing on Google and what we can do with Google. So the first thing I want to search using Google would be to check for exclusions. So suppose I want to search using Google something excluding some items, then how would I search? I use a symbol called the minus symbol. So here I'm on google.com and I want to search for say I want to search for Taylor Swift, but I don't want any the new album Evermore. So it will give me all the search results without the latest album Evermore. But if I remove this search item, then let's see what happens. Then we actually get searches with Evermore. So this is an exclusion search. So no search results with Evermore. The next is an inclusion search. So in inclusion search, what we do is we want to include only those, we want to include some terms. So I'll say Folklore, her latest album before Evermore. So this is Folklore, and it will, all the search results will be related to Folklore and Taylor Swift. But suppose I want to search for book plus PDF plus Google. So this is searching for all PDF books with Google in it. And as you can see, all the search results are relevant to that. So you can combine these things and say minus Amazon. So you can exclude and include based on the operators that you use. So let's look at the other options. So we've covered include. Now let's look at an exact search, and we use double quotes for that. So if I want to search for an exact word, say Amit Sarkar, my name. I don't want to search for Amit, I don't want to search for Sarkar, I want to search for Amit Sarkar as a whole search item, and there you go. So the first link is actually my LinkedIn URL, Amit Sarkar, test consultant working for other solutions, and then you can see that it's searched for all Amit Sarkars. So this is an exact result. Now we want to search for something similar to Amit Sarkar. So let's see how we would do that. Something similar to Amit Sarkar, or something similar to Amit, and let's see what happens. So something similar to Amit gives me all the options with Amit. Amit Bhadana, Amit Kumar, Amit Gairola, and many other things. And these are all searches which are similar to the word Amit. So let's look at some other operators. So we have a wildcard as well. So how would we search using wildcard? So I will say, so let's say Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, and I will say Narendra Modi star. So let's see what happens. Okay, this is giving me results only for Narendra Modi. So let me search for Avengers star Infinity. So I'll get all search results with the wildcard Avengers, Infinity, Infinity War, etc. So basically it will add anything in between. So suppose cats star dogs. So we'll search for cats and dogs, cat or dogs, and any combination of cats and dogs, cat versus dogs. So this wildcard is basically replacing it for anything else in between. Then let's look at the next search operator, which is a range. So this is basically a range. So a range could be, say, camera, and you will say 50 pound to 100 pound. So it will give me all the results between that particular range. It's given me 50 to 100% off, but more or less if I remove the currency symbol, let's see what happens. 50 to 100, so it's given me 50 to 100% off, 50 to 100 pounds, etc, etc. So this is when you want to search for a particular range. Now let's look at hashtags. So suppose we want to search for hashtag, and here we want to search for Dua Lipa, the singer Dua Lipa. So we will search for anything which is with the hashtag Dua Lipa in Google, and wherever the hashtag Dua Lipa is used, Google will search for it and give you the results. So this is if you want to search using hashtags. Now if you want to search for a particular site, so I want to see if my website amitsarkar.tech is returned in the search results. So if I type this site amitsarkar.tech, I will get all the results which are in this domain amitsarkar.tech. So the first URL is amitsarkar.tech. The second URL is amitsarkar.tech media, amitsarkar.tech tools, work, acknowledgement, education, speaking. I have not got any results for any other website. I have got result only for a particular website, and if I search for, say, media inside this site, I will get amitsarkar.tech/media, and any word that's related in the home page or somewhere else, I've got a result for that. So basically I can search for a term in a very specific website. So suppose you want to search for the Brexit. So Brexit is hot, very hot now on bbc.com. So Google will do a search only on this site for this term. So this is quite powerful actually. So if you want to search for a particular term in a particular website, this command is quite useful. Then let's look at file type. So many times you want to search for things like a PDF. Okay, so I want to search for a PDF, say in gov.uk website. So here I can see that anything with the domain gov.uk, I have now got a list of all the PDF files. So this is a quick way to search for a particular file type using Google on a particular domain. I can say site, just to be more specific, site gov.uk file type PDF. So now it will just give me gov.uk. There won't be anything else. So this is again quite powerful. Then we search for in URL. Now in URL, say in the URL I want to search for technology. So there are so many results, and every result has technology in one of the URLs. It doesn't appear to be so, but if you hover over the URL and say try to open it, technology word is there. Okay, and if you search for, if you open some other URL, say this one HBR, the word technology is there. So basically what I've done is I've searched for technology inside the URL. So let's look at some other options. In title. So whenever you open a page, on top of the tab there is some text written, and that is nothing but the title. So suppose I change this to in title and I do the same search again, and it says technology. So let me close these, and if I, instead of technology, let's say movies, in title movies. So let's say what happens. So we've got option from Netflix 17 Mary Claire, and let's see what happens. In the tab, I'm not even going to open the web pages, but in the tab you can see that there is movies, the word movies is written, and similarly in the other tab the word movies is written, and similarly in the third tab the word movies is written. So as you can see, I've searched for the word movies inside the title, and these are some of the results I've got. So this is again a very powerful way to search. Now let's look at some other options. Word meanings. So this is again quite interesting. So suppose you want to search for a meaning for a word, say exaggerated meaning. Just type this, exaggerated meaning, and let's look at what Google returns. So Google actually does a dictionary search for the word exaggerated, and now I can replace this with flabbergasted, and it will show me the meaning for flabbergasted. Or let's look at congruous, and it's showing me the meaning for congruous. So now this is again quite powerful. Time zones or time. So if I want to look at the current time, so it's 11:09 on Friday GMT in Bromley. Okay, so this is again quite interesting. And if I want to look for the time zone, say GMT, it'll just tell me this. But if I want to convert GMT to say Indian Standard Time, so I now get the conversion GMT to Indian Standard Time without even going to any other website. So Google has done that calculation for me. Of course, it may not be that useful, but it gives you a pretty good idea how far ahead or how behind a particular time zone is. Then let's look at currency conversion. So in currency conversion, let's look at the conversion from say a Chinese yen to a Japanese yen. Yeah, so it's not converted because I have not specified which yen it is. So I'll say Chinese yen to Japanese yen, and now Chinese yuan. So my bad, Chinese yuan to Japanese yen. So it shows 1 Chinese yuan is 15.81 Japanese yen. So it's done the currency conversion. And if I want to do US dollar to GBP, so it says 1 United States dollar is 0.74 pounds. So again, quite powerful. So I've done a currency conversion using Google without going to any other website. Then let's look at what else. Calculator. Well, not many of you know, but Google can actually do some calculations. So let's say 2 plus 2. Okay, 2 plus 2 equal. Yes, so 2 plus 2 equal 4, and it has opened a calculator for me. And what I can do is I can press this AC button and I can do some calculation here. So from my browser, I've now actually done some calculation, which is quite interesting. Images. So Google by default allows you to search for images, and say I want to search for a scalable vector graphic for Wikipedia. So it will give me all the, so I'll say file type. So it's searching for the file type SVG for the text Wikipedia in images, and these are all the results I can get. So this is quite a handy again, because I've searched for images of a particular type, but it has now given me other options. So if I click on tools, it shows me all the options I have for this. If I clear this, it'll clear everything. If I want the tools again to appear, so here it is, and I can search for file type again by using the operator file type. But it gives you a very good idea of how to search for images using Google. Now let's look at what else. So we have videos. So Google has option for videos. So I want to search for videos, but I want to search for videos with say Donald Trump. and I have got all these URLs with Donald Trump in it. But if I want to search for videos in only youtube.com, so even without opening YouTube, I'm searching only for results Donald Trump in the website youtube.com. Quite handy, right? Next is news. So suppose I want to search for Donald Trump but in news now. So I click here and it shows me all the news related to Donald Trump. And if you see, then it's sorted in descending order. So the most recent news appears on the top, and the older news normally appears in the bottom. I think there is some mismatch, but more or less that's the order it follows. Now let's look at directions. So suppose you want to go from London to Manchester. Now it's searching in news, but I go to all. So now here it's opened a part of Google Maps and it's giving me the directions on how to go by road, by train, by walk, by cycle from London to Manchester. Quite handy, right? Next, we look at flights. So suppose I want to now search for Manchester to London flights. Sorry, London to Manchester flights. So it's now given me option of looking at flights, the top options with the departure date and arrival date, and also giving me some options for the top airlines, some non-stop flights, some connecting flights, the price range, and if I click on show flights, it'll take me to google.com/flights, travel/flights. And now I can search for flights from Google. I don't have to go to Skyscanner, I don't have to go to Expedia, I don't have to go to any other website. Google is doing that for me. Now let's look at shopping. So suppose I want to buy the latest Samsung TV. So I have some results here, but let me click on shopping. So in shopping, I can see lots of TVs, Samsung TVs, and the different options of the types. And I have options to select a particular model and compare the prices from 25 different shops. So let's say I want to select this option. I click it and I say compare prices from 25 plus shops, and then I sort by total price. And you can see that I have now got all the results for this particular TV model from Samsung 7 series across all the different websites from where Google can search. It is not a comprehensive list, but it gives you an option to check the prices quite quickly. And as you can see, it's in ascending order. So it starts from the lowest price, and total price here sometimes adds the delivery cost, and that's why there is sometimes a difference between the item price and the total price. So this again is quite handy. Now let's look at events. So suppose I want to search for events using Google. How do I do it? So I say I delete everything, I go back to Google and I just search for events. And here it says event information may be out of date due to coronavirus. Confirm details with event organizers. And then see events anyway. So let me click this. And now I can search for concerts. I can search for festivals, free events, TV shows, nightlife using Google for today, for tomorrow, for this week, for next week, next month, etc. So Google is now giving me an option to search for events as well. So now let's look at jobs. If I want to search for the job test manager I click test manager jobs, and then I click this option jobs, and then it takes me to a new page where I have all the options to check for the different jobs with the different parameters for filtering it. I will not get into too much detail because I have already discussed about this in my previous video. So those of you who are interested in trying to use Google for their job search, please refer to my previous video. So let's look at now weather. So suppose I want to search for the weather in London. So just by typing London weather, it gives me the option and the forecast, and the forecast tomorrow is not looking good. It is a bit rainy, but Sunday seems to be a bit nice, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday it's again raining. So again, it's a quick way to search for weather using Google. Now let's search for books. So suppose I want to search for a books, say J.K. Rowling. So now it's given me an option to check out the books for all the books written by J.K. Rowling, and as you can see, I can see everything here: Harry Potter and so many other things. So this is again quite interesting. So if I want to search for a book by a particular author, this is a very quick way to do that. And suppose I click on say this one. So it just takes me to that book, and I can see that I can search for more options with for that book by J.K. Rowling. So now let's look at finance. So now this is quite interesting. So let's say I want to look at New York Stock Exchange. Well, it doesn't show me anything, but if I want to search for the stock Facebook, now this is quite interesting. So now it's showing me all the stock market for Facebook on Nasdaq for the stock Facebook. And if I do the same for say Amazon, it's again using Nasdaq as an exchange and showing me the price of Amazon.com share over the last 1 day, 5 day, 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, and so on. So this is again quite a good way to search for the different stocks across the different exchange using Google. And when you do this search, you can see that there is something called as finance that has come up now. And if I click on finance, so now I get a more better view, which is just focused on the financial aspect of this particular stock, Amazon.com. So I can now compare this stock with something else. So say, let's say I want to compare it with Apple, and then I want to compare it with say Google. No, sorry, Alphabet. So I'll say class A. So now it's comparing the stocks, and I can now compare the stocks of which one is doing better and which one is doing not so better in terms of percentage, which is quite interesting. And then I can also look at the financials for Amazon.com and all their quarter results which gets published. So using Google, I have now quickly looked at the finance options which it provides. Let's look at translation. So in translation, it's let's look at the famous word hello in Hindi. So that's my native language. Okay, hello in, okay, because I'm searching in finance, I didn't get anything. So let's search in all, and yes, voila, I get hello in Hindi, which is namaste. And say hello in Spanish, and it says hola. So H is silent in Spanish, so we say hola. So this is quite interesting because now I've done a translation of a particular text quite quickly, and it has detected the language and then converted that into Spanish. So translation for you guys. And then let's look at song lyrics. So suppose I want to look at the song lyrics of We Will Rock You lyrics, and voila. So I've got the song lyrics for the song We Will Rock You by Queen. Buddy, you're a boy making a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. And they give you the source as well. So you now have the entire lyrics for the song on your fingertips. So Google helps you with that. And what else can Google do? Sports scores. So suppose I want to check out the score for Man U versus Chelsea. So it's given me a score for a match between Manchester United and Chelsea on this particular date, on this particular year, and FA Cup, EFL Cup, and wherever they have played. So this is again quite interesting. And but if I want to say Liverpool, so Liverpool versus Chelsea. So I can now see the dates and when they have played and what was the score. So this is again quite interesting. Now let's look at holidays. So suppose I want to search for holidays and say bank holidays UK. So it'll give me a list of all the bank holidays that are coming in UK. Or if I want to know when Christmas is or what date, I mean, we all know the date is 25th, but what day is it? So if I type Christmas 2020, it'll give me the exact date and with the day. So this is again quite helpful. And if I want to say Diwali 2020, it'll give me that. And I've already shown you how to search for bank holidays in UK. Now let's look at movies. So if I want to search for movies, say Avengers, I can just look at this, or I just use this movie colon Avengers, and I get all the movies which are with the title Avengers in it. Or if I want to say Wonder Woman 1984 release date. So now it's actually told me that Wonder Woman has already released, but it says initial release, and there will be a further release on the 25th of December on Christmas Day. So this is again quite helpful if you want to search for movies using Google. So that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've covered a lot of aspects of how to use Google and to search for things that you do on a daily basis, but using it now maybe with all the options available to you more powerfully. So I hope you like the video, and if you do, a thumbs up would be great. And if you can subscribe to my channel, then I know that you want more videos, and I will try to make the I'll try to make it possible to get you more informational videos possible. So thank you so much, and see you next time.